In the world of investing and investments, we all know who Warren Buffett is. His journey as an investor started when he bought his first stock at just 11 years old. Known as the Oracle of Omaha, his story has been shared in various global conferences, speeches, and TED Talks to inspire aspiring investors and businessmen as well. But do you know who Warren Buffett is and how he made his billions? In this video, we are going to examine who Warren Buffett is and how he became one of the greatest investors of all time. We are going to take a look at his decisions and investments that allowed him to cement himself as one of the wealthiest and most respected businessmen in the world today. Warren Buffett, whose whole name is Warren Edward Buffett, was born on August 30, 1930 in Omaha, Nebraska, to Howard and Lila Buffett. Even at an early age, Warren already showed interest in business and financial matters. As a child, he was already gifted with numbers. He was even described as a mathematical prodigy since he can add large columns of numbers in his head. According to rumors, Warren then even said that he would jump from the tallest building in Omaha if he's not a millionaire by the time he turned 30. This only showed how interested and motivated he was in business and investments back then, even as a child. Warren made his first investment when he was just 11 years old. He bought 3 shares of Citi Service Preferred, which only cost $38 per share. This investment then gained a small profit when it rose to $40 per share, prompting him to sell his shares. However, he later admitted that he regretted such a decision when the stocks reached $200 per share. Such experience became one of his early lessons to practice patience when it comes to investing. Warren also worked as a paperboy when he was 13 years old. His day started as early as 4:30 in the morning so he could deliver the copies of the Washington Post on time. On the side, he also sold calendars and magazine subscriptions to his newspaper subscribers. And 2 years later, Warren was able to make and save a total of $2,000 from delivering papers alone, which is approximately $26,000 if you convert that into today's value. From this money, Warren invested $1,200 in a 40-acre farm in Nebraska through a profit-sharing agreement. When Warren was 17 years old, then a sophomore in high school, he and his friend put up a used pinball machine in a local barber shop which they were able to purchase for only $25. And within months, they were able to put up several other machines across various barber shops in Omaha, allowing them to profit $25 per week. They, however, decided to sell the business within a year to a war veteran for the amount of $1,200. For college, Warren studied at the University of Nebraska, where he graduated with a Bachelor of Science degree. He later on applied to Harvard Business School to pursue studying business and investments, but he was rejected. Hence, he decided to enroll instead at Columbia Business School when he learned that Benjamin Graham, who became his mentor, was teaching there. He graduated in 1951 with a Master of Science in Economics. When Warren returned to Omaha in 1952, he worked as a stockbroker. At the same time, he also took a Dale Carnegie public speaking course. He used these learnings when he started teaching night classes at the University of Nebraska until he moved with his family to New York in 1954. There, he was able to work for Benjamin Graham's partnership company. These job experiences only showed that Warren is not afraid to take risks and explore various jobs to attain his goal. He grabbed various business and investment opportunities to earn money. This showed his perseverance and commitment to his goals and his patience in achieving these goals. When Warren accepted a job at Benjamin Graham's partnership in 1954, his salary was just $12,000. If we convert that into today's money, that would account for approximately $109,000. However, this partnership closed 2 years after when Benjamin himself decided to retire. By this time, though, Warren already accumulated personal savings amounting to $174,000. And again, if we convert that into today's money, that would be around $1.5 million. Warren moved a lot over the years, but he eventually moved back into his hometown in Omaha where he bought a house. Although he was already considered rich during those times, Warren chose to live in a house he bought that only costs $31,500. Unlike other rich people, Warren chose to live a frugal life. Perhaps it is already in his nature because he spent most of his life as a security analyst and investment salesman. After he moved back to Omaha together with his close friends and family, Warren started the Buffett Partnership in 1956. This partnership was for the doctors. Warren initially wanted to find 10 doctors only to invest $10,000 each, but 11 responded and agreed to invest. Warren initially invested only $100 from his pocket, but he reinvested the management fees in the partnership in order to grow his stake in the company. Buffett opened a total of 7 partnerships by 1960. His stake was 9.5% in more than $1 million of partnership assets. These partnerships had an excess of $7 million and over $1 million belonged to Warren. These partnerships are what made him a millionaire by 1962. However, he later on merged these partnerships into a single entity, the now famous Berkshire Hathaway Incorporated. Although Warren initially called this his worst acquisition ever, this company grew and became a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate today. This New England textile company originally started in the 1830s and has stood the challenges of times. Warren began buying stock in Berkshire after noticing a pattern in the price direction of its stock whenever the company closed a mill. Warren saw an opportunity to invest and bought shares aggressively. He later determined that the cause of the losses that the company had been incurring is the poor management style. In 1965, when Warren acquired enough shares to control the company, he introduced radical changes in the company's business dynamics when he saw that the company's direction had continually spiraled down. Instead of focusing only on its textile endeavors, the company expanded into the insurance industry and other investments. This shift from being merely a textile company to an investment company is what propelled the company into the giant that it is now. By 1967, when Berkshire had enough money, it acquired 2 other insurance companies. This acquisition is the turning point for Berkshire because the cash flow of the insurance companies was the one used to further finance several other acquisitions. It acquired the Sun newspapers and Illinois National Bank and Trust Company of Rockford from 1968 to 1969. These businesses are only some of the companies that Berkshire acquired, and throughout the years, many more were added to the list. Today, Berkshire Hathaway's portfolio is worth over $700 billion, with over 1,000 companies under its management. When Berkshire started the sale of Class A shares in 1990, it was what made Warren a billionaire. These days, Warren is now also known for his philanthropic contributions to several charities and causes. And one of his biggest donations to date is when he gave away 185 million shares of Berkshire with a market value of $28.3 billion to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Today, Warren Buffett is worth over $124 billion. Although he is old now, he is probably older than our grandfathers, he is still a corporate titan. An intellectually gifted businessman that is unrivaled. He is even considered a genius. His investment approach is simple and straightforward. His honest nature, his wit, and his charm certainly captivated the world. Although it is hard to think that Warren started from the bottom and rose to become a giant in the business world, Warren Buffett is simply a person who discovered his passion early on and worked on that his entire life. And that is how Warren Buffett became a successful businessman and investor.